Hello, welcome to Introduction to Databases and SQL. In this session, we are going to discuss about foreign key constraint, which is also called as referential integrity constraint. Let's begin. So in the previous session, we have discussed about the primary key constraint, check, default, not null, and unique. And the last constraint in the given list is foreign key constraint. Foreign key constraint is also called as referential integrity constraint. So it ensures referential integrity. What do you mean by referential integrity? That means it establishes connections among multiple tables. A table refers to other table and achieves the data integrity. That's what referential integrity. We'll see with an example. And foreign key constraint is used to prevent actions that would destroy links between table. So it is used to ensure or prevent actions that would destroy links between the tables. So since it is a referential integrity, in order to enforce this, you require at least two tables. So let's understand the definition. A foreign key is a field or a column, or it can be a collection of fields as well. Just like a primary key or unique. It can be a single key, or that means single column, or collection of columns in one table that refers to the primary key in other table. A foreign key in a table refers to the primary key of other table. So that we have to ensure. In a table, you want to make a particular column as a foreign key, then that particular column should be a primary key in the other table. Then only this referential integrity is possible. You know what is a primary key? Primary key by default is not null and unique, and it is used to retrieve tuples or rows or records in a table uniquely. So as I told, there are two tables. The table with the foreign key is called as child table, and the table with the primary key is called as the parent table or the reference table. So by having foreign key, what happens is we can prevent invalid data from being inserted into a foreign key column, because it has to be one of the values contained in the parent table. Let's understand this statement properly here. So I have two tables. Let's say customer table. I have CID, which is a primary key, and CNAME and country are there. So this is my customer table. Then I have an orders table. So customers will make orders. I have an order ID, which is a primary key, which is auto increment, which is also auto increment. Order amount, which is actually not null. Order date is a date type, and by default, current date will get current date value is going to get applied whenever you try to insert a record, and you are not providing the order date. And now this is important actually. This order table has customer ID, cust ID, which actually refers to the CID of the customers. So in order to make an order, you must be a customer, right? So you want to make an order in Amazon or Flipkart or Myntra or whatever. First, you should be a customer. So you should get registered. You should have proper username and password. And then only you are allowed to order actually, right? So in the order table, we will have one key which actually refers to the customer table, right? So this is actually the referential integrity constraint. So here the customer ID refers to the primary key of this customers table. So in fact, you can actually use the same CID over here also, or any other name. So this is a foreign key, which refers to the primary key of the customer table. Now what happens? So in customer table, you will have the customer data like CID, CNAME, and country. And if any order has to be placed, the customer ID should exist in the customer table. So let's say customer ID 100 is there in the customer table, then only an order with the customer ID will go here. And customer ID 150, which is not there in the customers, is not possible. So that means order is not possible with the customer ID 150, which is not exists actually in the customers. So that's the point actually being specified over here. The foreign key constraint prevents invalid data from being inserted into foreign key column because it has to be one of the values contained in its parent table. So this is what the referential integrity, right? So in a child table, if you want to add your customer ID, it should be available in the customers table. Otherwise, you cannot add it, right? So most of the tables in the real time will be having primary keys and foreign keys. And that will be the starting point for joins as well. Okay, so now I have added the foreign key over here for the orders table. And how I made it is actually this, like this: alter table orders. I have added a constraint and the constraint name, and the foreign key, this cust ID, references to the customer's CID. So this is the syntax actually, and there are a number of ways how we can actually add a foreign key. So while creating a table itself, create table orders, order ID, order number, and person ID. So this person ID int is actually is the primary key in my persons table actually. Now in this particular orders table, I have order ID and foreign key person ID references person's person ID. So this is how we can actually create a foreign key while creating the table. And we can actually make use of the constraint keyword. The same thing like create table orders, order ID, order number, person ID, which actually referring to the person's primary key. So now order ID is primary key for this orders table. Now I can say constraint name, foreign key, so and so, references the person's table, person's ID, right? So these are the two ways in which we can create foreign keys while creating a table. The other two options are using alter table. So for example, you have created a table and you don't have now an option to create again, right? So already table is created, existing table. So what you can do, you can alter. So alter table orders, add foreign key, so and so foreign key, references the persons, the parent table's person ID. This is the simplest way, just like the option one. So with the second option, so you can actually use alter table. So alter table orders. Now you are saying add constraint name. So foreign key, whatever the foreign key in our table, and that references the parent table person's person ID. So these are the four ways by which we can actually create a foreign key. So two while creating table, and two while the table is already created using the alter command. And we can actually drop the foreign key constant as well. So for that, alter table name, drop foreign key and the foreign key name, foreign key constraint name. Alter table orders, drop foreign key and foreign key constraint name. Right? So this is how we can actually do it. Now let's understand this example, whatever I have told you by going through our MySQL. So let me make it a little bigger. And I just want to show tables here. Yeah, so these are tables. So I have customers table is there. So let me see the customers table, DSE customers. So let's see the structure. So this is structure. The structure is similar to what we have mentioned over here. So CID is integer and it's a primary key. CNAME and country, which can allow actually null values, by default null. So I have a customers table where CID is the primary key. So if at all you want to see How this table created? Show create table customers. Yeah, now we can see create table customers. CID in not null, CNAME not null, and country varchar not null. So we have made everything is not null. So null, no, 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 right? And primary key CID. And the primary key CID. And by default, the engine is in InnoDB actually. Okay, so this is my parent table. So now let me understand about this orders table actually. So if you see the orders table, so we have order ID, which is actually a primary key and which is auto increment. Automatically, the ID is going to get incremented. Now I have order amount, which is null. Yes, it is null value. And I have order date, which also can be null value. If you are not giving any value, the current date is actually going to get generated. Okay, and I have the foreign key, which actually I want to make the cust ID, and I want to make this as a foreign key. Okay, so as of now, there is no foreign key. I have removed the foreign key. So create table orders. Yeah, so just you can see here, create table order, order ID, which is auto increment, order amount, float default equal to null, order date, default value is current date, and customer ID default is null. I have a primary key, which is order ID, and yeah, I have a check constraint also given over here. Check constraints. It checks the order amount should be greater than or equal to 10,000. And I don't have a foreign key as of now. I don't have a foreign key as of now. So now let me actually add the foreign key to that. Let me add the foreign key to that. So how I am going to do that? Okay, so let me do system CLS. Yeah, what is the syntax? So alter table orders. Okay, so now I'm going to add a constraint. That constraint is primary constraint. And I have to give some name, right? So FK. So I'm giving the name as FK customers. Okay, let me write the name over here. FK customers underscore orders. This is the name I have given. So I'm just following this same thing. And yeah, what constraint? So foreign key constraint. So FOREIGN and key space key. And what is the foreign key here? So cust ID is the foreign key in this particular order table. So here what we need to do is this particular foreign key cust ID references, it's a referential integrity, right? So references which value and which table. References the parent table, that is customers, and it has a value that is CID. References CID, right? So this is how we can actually add a foreign key. Okay, so this is the best way actually. You can actually add with the constraint keyword. Now let's say query OK. Now let me actually show you create table orders. Now you can actually see the constraint created here. Now you can see constraint FK customer orders foreign key cust ID references customers of CID. Now when I say disk orders, now you can actually see the mul. So mul means foreign key. Cust ID is mul actually. So now a foreign key is also there. So now what is going to happen if you have a foreign key? That's actually important, right? So now at this point, the foreign key constraint prevents invalid data from being inserted into the foreign key column because it has to be one of the values contained in the parent table. Let's check it actually. Okay, so here what we are going to do is let's check actually the data from customer table. So select star from customers. So I have 10 rows. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 101, 102, 103. Of course, this is auto increment and I have different people and this is a country actually. Okay, so if at all I want to add one value to this customer table, insert into this customers, and CID is auto increment. Is auto increment? Let's see. Customers CID is auto increment? No, it's not auto increment. So if at all we want to see, we can actually check actually DSC customers. No, it's not auto increment. We have to give the values. So let me give one value so that the table is working and we can understand that it's working and which has some data. So now insert into customers. I want to give all values because auto increment was not there. So what I do, I say values and let's say 104, and then I have C name. So C name actually any name I would like to give here. Okay, so let's say here Raghu, and then we have country, let's say India. So this one record. Yeah, now one record is inserted and select star from customers. I have 11 rows. So this is actually my SQL. Okay, MySQL table customers, and this is the data. So now let's actually check orders. So select star from orders. Now I have a foreign key over here. So in the orders table, I don't have anything, right? So now let me see the orders table structure, disk orders. So now I have auto increment order ID, order date by default. If I'm not giving current date is going to come. So cust ID I have to give. So whenever I give the cust ID must be the value from this particular CID. Cannot give any other value other than these values. So let's see actually. So now insert into orders. So now here I need to mention actually what are the values I have to give, because order ID is auto increments and order amount I need to give. So order amount is 45,000 and order amount I have a check constant, right? So it should be greater than 10,000, and the order date I don't want to give. So what I have to mention here is I have to mention just the column names. Order amount I want to give, and order date by default it will take the current date, and customer ID, cust underscore ID. So these two values only I want to give. So let me give two records actually here. So order amount is let's say 45,000 and customer ID. So customer ID should be any customer ID from this particular table. So I am saying one, that is one record. And there is another order with amount 50,000 and it's going to be let's say 101. Okay, so now let me insert. So two records inserted. Let me select star from orders. So here you can actually see the order ID is 13 and 14 because already 10 order IDs have been created because it's auto increment, and 10 actually got created, 12 actually got created and they have been deleted. Okay, so that's why it is starting from 13 and 14. So if you insert, it is going to be 15 actually. So now let me insert into my orders table, insert to orders, and here let's say it is 55,000 and here it's going to be let's say 2 and it's going to be 102. So these also valid because this order customer ID 2 and customer ID 102 are available actually. So now you can actually see select star from order. So 13, 14, 15, 16, right? So now what I am doing is I am going to give let's say some 25,000. That's fine. And I am going to give here some 3, but here I am going to give 105. So do you have 105? Do you have 105? No. So otherwise, do you have till 16 order ID? See, we have actually in the customer table, we have till 104 only, right? 105 is not there. And let's say 8. So let's come back here and let's say 8. So you don't have customer ID 8 also. So I am giving actually the values which are not there in the parent table. So will it be allowed? So it's a referential integrity, right? So it shouldn't be allowed actually. Now let's see. Yes, so it's not allowed. So cannot add or update a child row. A foreign key constraint fails. It fails actually. So you have a foreign key constraint specified over here in the orders table, and the foreign key refers to the customer table over here, right? So the cust ID refers to the CID. So if the value is not there, you cannot actually insert here. Okay. The same thing, if you actually make 104 and here you make 7, this is going to get inserted because these values are there. These values are there, and you can actually select start from orders, and you have all these orders coming up, right? So this is what foreign key constraint. So whenever you have a foreign key, that foreign key is referring to the parent table. So this column should be available in that particular parent table. Otherwise, it's not allowed actually. Okay. So of course, in this, we have actually a check also. So let me actually have the check. So I'm giving 5,000. I will have a check constraint now. So check constraint is violated because we are saying check at least order amount is greater than or equal to 10,000, right? So many constraint we have actually specified. Okay. So hope you have understood this part. Now, how do I drop actually? How can I drop my foreign key? So we can actually drop it. So we should write actually like alter table orders and drop foreign key and the foreign key constraint. So something like this. Yeah. So alter table orders drop constraint. Okay. So FK customers and orders. So now let me drop actually query. Okay. Now let's see. Now show create table orders. Now you cannot actually see constraint foreign key. Constraint foreign key is not there. Right? When it is not there, you can actually insert data, whatever the data that you want, because that's not actually referring to that one, right? So now, for example, I will go to that insert. Yeah, so I will go to that insert and I think it will go, it will get inserted actually now. Okay, so here what I'm going to do is I'm saying 15,000, and here I have 106, which is not there, and here I have 8, which is not there, but now actually the rows got inserted. So I don't have the foreign key, right? So that's why the rows got inserted. So select star from orders, you can actually see 106 and 8 has come up, but in your customer table, you go back to your customer table. So let me actually select star from customers. Yeah, so 106 is not there, 8 is not there. Because foreign key is not there, it is allowing. If the foreign key is there, it will not get allowed. So now what I do, I will actually update alter table, and I will add actually, yeah, so alter table, yeah, this one, right? Alter table orders, add constraint, and then here references customers of CID. Okay, so now it is failing actually because we have the invalid data. In the orders table, we have invalid data. So that's why it is failing. So why it is failing? I will actually show you. Select star from orders, because you have this 106 and 108, right? So which are not there in the customers table. So foreign key is getting violated. You cannot add it. So now what I need to do is, I need to delete them actually. So delete from, or I have to update their customer IDs. Okay, so better delete actually. So delete from orders, where, yeah. So what is that order ID in? So we will write actually both 23 and 24. Now deleted. Now you don't have these two values. Now we can actually work with this alter table orders. Then I have this constraint, and then this one. Now it is there, right? So foreign key constraint has come up now. So let me show create table orders. Now you can actually see constraint, uh, foreign key, custody references, customers of CID, right? So this is how you can actually work with this foreign key, and we can actually create foreign key while creating the table in two ways. And this actually we have seen. And of course, dropping also we have seen alter table orders, drop foreign key, this thing, or constraint name also, right? Yeah. So this is about the foreign key. Hope you have understood. And if you have understood, so in the next class, we will actually discuss about referential options, which are related to the foreign keys only. Okay, so we have different referential options like this: restrict, cascade, set null, no action, set default. So this we are going to discuss in the next session. Thank you.